Hi, Best Buds. It's Cathy with Cathy's Garden, and I'm so happy that you've joined me today. Today, we're going to use your beautiful fabrics. I know you have some. I have some too. And I just thought, well, it's time that we pull them out, and we're going to make something cute and easy. I've made a few here. I'm not real sure what to call them. Secret journaling spots, faux tea fold downs. I'm just not too sure, but look how cute they are. Super cute. And then you untie it right here and fold it right on down. And look, you have a lovely journaling space. Now I did sew around the edge on this one, but on this one right here, I did not. And you can see they're just as cute, whether you sew for an added layer or maybe you don't sew. It's still going to be fantastic. Now let me show you the others that I made. All right, so you've seen these two. So I've got an adorable pink one here. Oh my goodness. I just think they are so much fun. Here's one here that I used a label with. Here's another lavender one. And here's another pink one. So let's start. How did I begin? I started with a copy weight piece of paper. Now I've pulled in this blue one because I'm going to use some blueprint of fabric. And I also have some lavender, some pink, and some coffee dyed. So I just kind of went to town and started chopping up all kinds of things. We want to fold this way. I don't want to say the long way. Just fold it in half. That's what I want to say. Fold it in half. And then we're going, this is the folded part right here. And I'm going to mark so that I can cut this every 2 inches, just like this. And then I'm going to bring in my little guillotine and I'm going to give it a chop. So we're preparing our tea bags. There we go. This is the fastest and easiest way. I spent the afternoon kind of figuring this out, and this is what I came up with. Now, right where it's folded, we're going to just take a sliver off of there. Just a sliver. And I'm going to do all of them. Okay. And let's do a couple more. Because once you get started making these, they're so much fun to make that you just make a whole bunch. And then you can keep them on hand. Use them in your journals. All right, so this paper happens to be mostly colored on one side. What I want to do next is I want to take this, and someone's going to ask me what size this is. This is 5.5 by 2. Now I'm going to fold it in half like this, and then I'm going to get my scissors, and I'm going to not going to crease it. I'm just going to take the corners off. Maybe about like that. It resembles a tea bag, doesn't it? And that way you just get the same amount without having to take that piece and go over there and try to hang on to it. All right, so now we've got this. Now, like I said before, I have been making these all afternoon, and I think I'd like to make a lavender one. Let's see, what do I have over there? There's a pink one and there's a coffee dyed one. I want to make some more. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. Now you probably can put this all together. Well, first let's fold it in half. So folding it in half. We're bracing for another storm tonight. And of course it won't come in till like 2 o'clock in the morning. And it's supposed to last throughout the morning time. So I thought, this is kind of late tonight, and I thought, God goodness, I need to just get my video done so that hopefully I'll have lights and I'll be able to pop this on for my Monday's video. All right, I'm just using that blue one as a template, just so they're all the same. All right, so now we look like that. Now you're going to get your fabric and you're going to cut it into strips. So this is the one that I haven't made yet. Isn't that sweet? That is the sweetest little print. And that's what I want to use my blue one for. That will be great for the inside. So I'm going to turn this over, so wrong side up. And then I want to apply my glue on, this is going to be the back side because I want this blue to show. I think that's really pretty. And I'm going to be using my fabric tack. So getting my fabric tack to come on out, and then just applying all the way around the edge and a little in the middle. You know how to apply glue, guys. Just get that glue on there. Okay. And then just pop it on to your fabric. There we go. And I'm just going to trim it out like this for now, because I am going to go ahead and I'm going to cover another one that's like book page, and I'm going to cover another one with this pretty pink, and then I have this beautiful pink. I think this was given to me, if I recall correctly, and then this pretty pink. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. Let's do another one together. I'm going to take my fabric, and this is pink on both sides, so it doesn't matter which one I glue down. And I'm going to add my fabric tack. Now you use the glue that you like to use with your fabric. I just really like fabric tack. I think it works well. So that's what I'm using. Alrighty, get that on there just like that, and then turn it over. It's very simple, guys. It's really, really easy, and you can just make so many of them. And then cutting it, and then I'm going to set it aside and let it dry. And I'm going to make some more right here. And then I'll come back and I'll show you the next step. All right, so now you've got your papers glued on to your fabric. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my standard pinking shears. These are Fiskas. And I'm going to trim around my paper, but I'm not going to cut my paper. I'm just going to let the pinking shears be right on the edge. And I'm not sure, did I tell you that this paper is just regular copyweight paper? It's not cardstock or anything like that. It's just copyweight paper. And trim it out. Oops. Just like that. All right, so now we've got that trimmed out. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trim all of mine out, because I am going to make all of these up. I just can't wait. They're going to be adorable. All right, so I have mine all cut out. As I was cutting these out, I was thinking, Easter's coming up. This would be an adorable thing tied on to your Easter gift or basket, and use it as a card, like a to and from. They open it up and then they can see Happy Easter or Happy Birthday, or that would be a cute thing to do too. I just thought of that when I was cutting away. Now I like the way inking looks, so I am going to take a few minutes and I am going to ink the inside, the paper part of these real quick here, and I'll be right back after I get finished. All right, you guys, so I got it all inked up. The next thing is, if you like the look of sewing and you like to do that, then this is when you would want to take it to your machine and sew around with your machine. Stitch all the way around the edges like I have done with these right here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stitch these also, and then I'll show you what I did next. All right, so I got them all sewn. Now, the next thing I did was I folded them back like this. And this print really, well, actually it does. You decide which you want for the front and which you want for the back. I like this side better. I can't tell you why. I just like that side better. So I'm just gonna select a couple of these. Yep, this one, this side. And then maybe let's do the book page one because everything else is pink. So let's do the book page one. There we go. So I've got 3 there. I'll finish those up a little bit later. Now, you're going to grab your scraps. You can get some of this, oh, what the heck is this called? Gauze. Some is coffee dyed. I've coffee dyed some. I've kept some white. You can bring in your laces. You could bring in your little flowers that you have like this, or maybe you have some of those paper flowers. You could use those also. The paper flowers would be really pretty with this. Or maybe you have some itty bitty labels. I have some little tiny labels in here. Let me see here. You would need small labels because, well, because the little faux tea bag is small. So let's see here about where are some really small ones. Of course, you know, when you want a really small one, they disappear. There's one. And, is that one? Here's one right there. I was going to get a couple out because, you know, I always like to have a variety. There we go. There's a couple right there. Now, let's go ahead and let's start creating. Here are those little labels. And I want to edge the labels around with some ink. It's this fabric. When I pinky sheared it and then I inked around the edge, it really roughed up the fabric. I've got little pieces. Okay, got that ready. Now, let's see, what can we come up with this? I think maybe the coffee dyed gauze would be really pretty on here. So let's grab some smaller scissors and I'm going to get a paper clip and I'm going to paper clip this closed. I also want a little bit of lace on this also. Goodness gracious, I've got all kinds of laces here. I don't know, do I want to pull the white? There is white in that print. I might want to pull a little bit of that white. Yeah, I think that would be real pretty. So I'm going to trim this, and I think I want it to be like inside my stitching. And then we can pop that on there like that. And then maybe a dark flower. Yeah, dark flower. I don't care for these little centers in these flowers. I always take them off and then I replace them with a flat back pearl. But I think that's really pretty. So that's what we'll do with that one. Now let's bring the blue one in. I'm really looking forward to decorating this blue one. I think I have some little yellow flowers that we could put on this one. Maybe a little bit of white gauze. I don't know, maybe no gauze at all. I'm not sure. We're just playing around here, seeing what we can come up with. How about this lace? Yeah, I like that lace. So let's give this a trim. With that crooked we'll make that straight. Shall we put a label on this one with our flower, maybe? Or maybe this one. This one's green. And I don't know if I want the white, or if I want white gauze, or if I want the natural gauze. This isn't as scritched up. Once I coffee dyed it, it got kind of... yeah, I like this better. I do like this better, but I want to kind of pull it apart. And then I have some yellow flowers somewhere. Or, oh, here they are. Now they're kind of big. They might be way too big for this. I don't know. Or it might be pretty doggone cute. Now, I don't think the tag is big enough. If I'm going to put that big flower, I don't like that tag. I don't like the circle with the circle of the flower. I also have some of these. Yeah, no, I really like the yellow. Let me look and see if I have some smaller yellow flowers. Okay, I have these yellow ones right here, and there are some that are very small. There's a couple different colors. There's that light color and then a darker color. I like the lighter color. They have sparkles on them. And then I have this blue one that I could put on there. I could maybe put them both. Maybe I need a cutter like this to cut this off. And I'm going to remove that center because it's on wire. And I don't want that wire on there. There. Just tear the thing apart, Cathy. Okay. I kind of lost a petal, I think, in the process. But maybe we could make it work. I don't know. I don't know if we want them both. It's not bad. I don't know if we want that yet. And I don't know about the label either. So let's get this. I do know I want that. So let's get that down. Now I'm using my hot glue gun because it's quick and easy and it's really great for videos because I don't have to wait for the glue to dry. Now this is a Sure Bonder high temp and it's got that tip on it. It came with that tip. I didn't add that tip. So if you are looking for a glue gun, I really love mine. It does need a little something else going on here. And I don't know if I want the white. Now I kind of like the white. Okay, so we're going to use the white, but I think I'm going to have to put this label down first. So I'm going to just put it kind of at an angle. I'm going to pop that down, and I'm going to put this on top. And I don't mind that it's a sparkle little center on that one. I haven't put that other one together yet. I will get that done. And then this one right here, what are we going to do for this one? Let's see. Shall we bring in maybe something more elaborate? I'm not feeling that too well. I've got some bigger flowers, but I don't think I have any with a brown center. I have some brown ones. They're kind of peachy colored brown. I don't know about that. I got all those or most of them in Happy Meal, you guys. It was the most awesome Happy Meal ever. Let's see here. How about, look, we've got this. This is kind of different. That's very different. Okay. And cut it there. And I'm going to cut it here. How about if we do that? And we could put Maybe just put a label on it like that. Oh, kind of needs something, doesn't it? Needs something else. I've got a flower like this. We could pop on there. Oh, that's kind of cute. Okay, let's see. I wonder how that works. Underneath it. Well, that's not bad. That's pretty cute. Okay, I'm going to glue this together, and I'm going to glue this one together, and then I'm going to show you how to do the tie. All right, you guys, I hope the tornado siren, that weather alarm doesn't go off. It's gone off already once when I was on pause, and I just got another notification. I'll try to get it shut off real quick if it comes on, because man, it's loud. But there we go. There's one. I think that's so pretty. And then we've got this one. And then we've got this one. Now, for the closure, I have this cording. I have no idea. It has no packaging. I've had it for years. I have no idea where I got it from. The reason why I chose it is because it really holds together. It doesn't come apart. And so I was able to thread it through the small hole because I am using the very small hole punch here. And I didn't want to struggle to get my cording into my hole. So that's why I chose it. So I'm punching, and because it's fabric, I have to go ahead and snip. So you can see I've got a hole there, very small. And goodness gracious, now I'm not sure if I think this would be cuter as a piece, why did I pick blue? Piece of ephemera for your junk journal, like pop it into a pocket, or if I think it would be super cute to tie on a package or an Easter basket for your card for a to and from thing. I just don't know which one would be cuter. I think both ideas would be super cute. And I would love to get this in a pocket, in a journal, or tied on to a gift. That is for sure. And you just make a little tie, and you tie the two together like that. Isn't it adorable? I think it turns out so precious. And what a great way to use your fabric. So I just put it through the holes, and then this is the hardest part of the whole thing right here, is tying the bow. You could use ribbon if you don't have cording. That little 1/8 inch ribbon that's very inexpensive at the crafts shop. You could use that. Well, that bow's kind of crooked, but it's still cute even though it's crooked, right guys? I'm gonna have to retie that one. I have truly enjoyed making these with you, and if you've enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.